Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be letting you guys know about an awesome free game that's available at Humble right now. One of the best free game offerings in recent memory. It's a very underrated game, but a very awesome game at that. Also, I want to give you guys an update on RPCS3. This emulator is just making gigantic improvements every month, and now it has seen another huge leap. And yes, it's running Red Dead Redemption very well right now, as well as updates to a lot of other games, so we'll be talking a little bit about that. I'll leave a link to the video they uploaded earlier, so if you want a more in-depth look, you can check that out. First, let's talk about a free game available on Humble right now, and that is The Darkness 2. Now, The Darkness is a franchise I'm sure a lot of you guys don't know about, but it is a great first-person shooter. I don't believe the first Darkness is even available on Steam, and I actually don't even recall if that game saw a PC release, but The Darkness 2 is the game I played, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is a campaign-driven first-person shooter, but it's got its own elements as you've got these creatures coming out of you, and that's a big element to the game. The game does also have a 4-player cooperative campaign, and it has you play as one of 4 unique characters, each of them wielding weapons infused with darkness powers. To give you an idea of how this game is received, recent reviews has it tabbed at 91% positive over 84 reviews. So yes, this isn't a game all too many people are reviewing, but all-time 89% also very positive among 4,102 reviews. So you can get this game absolutely free right now. Typically goes for a reasonable amount of money. Even during a Steam sale, it'll be $7.50, I believe. It's $30 retail, but typically during a Steam sale, it'll be 75% off. So I believe if my math is right, it'll be $7.50, but now you can get it absolutely free over at the Humble store. And again, really solid game. As far as whether or not you can run this game, I'll go over the system requirements very quickly. Not a hard game at all to run, released back in 2012, so obviously a little bit of an older game, but at the minimum side of things, you're looking at an Intel Core 2 at 2 GHz or an AMD Athlon 64X2. You're looking at 1.5 GB of RAM, so that's nothing at all. 10 GB of hard drive space, a GeForce 8600 or an ATI Radeon HD 2600, yes, very old GPUs. On the recommended side of things, you're looking at a 2.4 GHz quad-core processor, 2 GB of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce 9800 GTX. So if you have anything somewhat modern, you're going to be able to run this game no problem. Even if you have decent integrated graphics, this game is going to run no problem. So I'll leave a link to that in the description box down below. Once again, a great game, very underrated game. I'm sure a lot of you guys missed out on this, but check it out. Absolutely free. Download it and play it ASAP because it is a very solid game. Played this years ago, and I had a great time with that. So one of the better free game offerings in a little bit. Moving on from that, the PlayStation 3 emulator and RPCS3 has gotten another major update, and the RPCS3 YouTube channel has an upload of a lot of the different improvements. One of the major improvements is Red Dead Redemption, and this game is starting to look really, really good on this emulator. Now, I wouldn't say it's at the level of it being playable, but considering the improvements they are making every month, honestly, by the end of 2018, I could see this emulator being a very reasonable emulator that everybody's downloading and playing legit PlayStation 3 games with, and that's incredible because the PlayStation 3 is one of those consoles that is very underrated in terms of its game library. In terms of the PlayStation consoles, I feel like the PlayStation 2 is heralded as having the best library ever, but the PlayStation 3 also had an insane library. Maybe it doesn't get as much credit because it didn't sell as well as the PlayStation 2, but you've got games like Red Dead Redemption, like the Uncharted games, like the Yakuza games, Ninja Gaiden, I could go on and on. Ni no Kuni is another one of those games that they've showed off with this update, and that's starting to look pretty decent. Ni no Kuni 2 just released on PC, and we have no word whether or not the first game is going to get ported to PC in the future. I imagine it will because the second game is doing well, but the PS3 emulator could be a decent way to go about doing things. Now, they have been able to make a lot of updates to this because there's a lot of people supporting them on Patreon as well. So if you want to support them on Patreon, they're doing great work, and I'll leave a link to that in the description box down as well. If you want to throw $1 or a couple dollars at them, feel free. They've got around 770 patrons backing them right now, and that's why this emulator is making such fast progress at a fast rate. Again, I'll leave a link to the video going over a lot of the improved games. Games included in that update include Red Dead Redemption, Uncharted, Yakuza, Skate 3, Ninja Gaiden, Ratchet & Clank, and a couple of other games. So by the time this emulator makes even more progress and becomes a legitimate product for a wider audience to use, right now you really have to have a super high-end PC to get it going. But in 6 months, a year, 18 months down the line, this emulator is really going to open the floodgates to a lot of PC gamers having a lot more games at their disposal. That's one of the things I love about PC see is that these emulators really open the floodgates to hundreds upon hundreds of new games, and they even threw in the PS3 version of Crysis running on the emulator. Now, the PS3 version of Crysis is pretty terrible, but they threw that in there as well for shits and giggles, so check that out. Check out the free copy of The Darkness 2. That's gonna conclude this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, link for a free copy of The Darkness 2 in the description box down below, and let me know your thoughts on RPCS3. Is this an emulator you guys have already checked out? Are you waiting for a couple of more fixes? Right now, the games, I wouldn't consider them super playable, and this isn't the state at which I want my gaming experience to be at, but just seeing the progress and following it step by step, I've been covering this emulator for quite a bit, and seeing the improvements made every month, it's pretty incredible, especially if you know the design and the architecture of the PlayStation 3. It used a horrible cell architecture that made it very hard to develop for, and I honestly thought we would never see an emulator, but it seems I have been proven wrong. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.